Hello everybody. So I ordered a new vaporizer for oxalic acid vaporizer mite treatments, and I just received this in the mail just today, and I'm super excited to open it up here and try it out. I'm going to film the entire unpackaging of this just so that you can see what you're in store for if you decide to go out and buy one of these. So the unit is actually surrounded by foam packing, which is good. There's no way it's going to break when it's packed in here like this. Very well packed, clearly obvious right when you open it up what it is. And it feels nice and solid and heavy, but not too heavy to where it's uncomfortable to carry around. Seems nice and solid. There is the plunger that pushes the oxalic acid crystals down into the heating coil. You have an on-off switch and a couple sensors and readings. And there's where the battery goes. Mine is ready for a Dewalt battery. It says DW on the bottom, but you can get these so that they take different batteries for different power tools. This comes with 2 extra O-rings for the actual plunger, and then lots of paperwork in here. I'll do a quick look at it. Here we have the business card, some basic care and cleaning instructions for the unit, looks like a receipt for the purchase of the item. And I will let you know right up front, this unit is $500. You might as well plan on spending $500 on this unit. But the way I see it, if it helps keep the mites down and reaches areas that I can't reach with an extension cord or other oxalic acid vaporizers, this is well worth it. And then you have some basic instructions on how to use the unit, warnings about the heat put off and temperature on here. Talks about cleaning the unit when you're done with it. And then there is a backside to this paper with more information on the operation and the contact information for in case you have to get a hold of the company for any reason. So now let's take one more quick look at this before we take it outside and start using it. This is the little plunger. You just plunge that down into your oxalic acid crystals and it fills up with the crystals for you, and then you stick it back inside the vaporizer, hit the plunger on the top, and the crystals drop, heat up, and vaporize. So this has 4 settings. You can have it on 1, 2, 3, or 4. I typically, with my other vaporizer, would use 2, so I'm going to unscrew this and go just past 2 a little ways because there is a nut down inside there, so I want to make sure I get a full treatment. So I'm going to go with that setting right there, and then we're going to take this baby outside and test her out. Okay, so here we are out in the woods, and I have a small Dewalt battery that I'm going to test here. It's just one that came with one of my power drills. It supposedly will only get a couple treatments, but we're going to turn it on here and watch this thing heat up and see how long it takes. While this unit is heating up, I'm going to get my bag of oxalic acid granules, and I'm going to dip this plunger in there, and that's how it works. You can see the plunger is now full up to 2 units of the oxalic acid granules. And about 4.5 minutes has just passed. I sped through the video quick because nobody wants to sit here and stare at these flashing numbers for 4.5 minutes. But that's how long it did take to heat this up to the 445 degrees with this specific battery that I have in. For safety reasons, whenever you're using oxalic acid vapor, always wear a gas and vapor approved respirator. That stuff will burn your lungs real fast. So these are the 2 hives that I'll be testing this unit out on. They are way out in the middle of the woods, way farther out than I could ever hope to reach with extension cords. So this is the reason I got this vaporizer, is for hives like this. So before I actually use it on the hives, let's test it out and see how this works. I'm going to just insert the plunger right in there, and I'm going to hit that plunger down. And that actually works really well. That vapor is shooting right out of there with plenty of force. This is awesome if this unit holds up. You can see that vapor is coming out quick, and then within a handful of seconds, it's done. So this is exactly what I was hoping for with this. Let's give this a test on the hives and see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and do the right hive first. This one definitely has the most activity. And we're going to give this a go. And let's see what happens here. You can see that vapor coming out some. These are screened bottom boards. I will definitely have to put that screened bottom board insert in for the next round of treatments. But for now, I really just want to test this unit out. And as of right now, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. If you actually look down in the bottom right corner, there was a mouse that just ran out of that hive. I've always wondered if oxalic acid vapor would kill the mice, and this one did not die, but it was enough to scare that mouse out. Perhaps if I had this closed up more like a normal treatment, that mouse would have died. I'm going to have to test that out sometime. So you can see the vapor is pretty much done coming out right now. There's a little bit of trace vapor coming out, but that's probably just lingering inside the hive. I'm going to walk up and grab that, and we're going to do the second hive. This is so quick to reload and redo. This is way faster and way easier than filling those little rubber caps like I had to do with my other vaporizer. Just give it a tap, and man, that stuff just comes right out. Now I will say this, I did these 2 hives, and I did that test shot that was on camera in the earlier part of this video, and this battery actually dies about halfway through this treatment. It lasted long enough, and the vaporizer was plenty warm enough to burn up all of the oxalic acid, but this specific battery got me 3 treatments. So I have several other batteries. I'm not worried about that. However, I do have larger batteries on the way, and larger batteries will definitely last you a lot longer and get you more for your time. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing one of these vaporizers. And just for a reference, I did treat all 10 of these hives in under 20 minutes with only 2 Dewalt batteries of the smaller size. So it's definitely an advantage.